Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. It is October 5th in the year of 2023. And we're going to start today off with the Daily Intention Show. It's good to see you. And if we think a moment about what the daily intention actually means, is to make sure every day, every single day, we start the day with knowing what we care about in the day. We care about our mind, we care about our body, and we care about our business. So every single day, I need you to think about these three aspects, and I need you to set a goal to learn, improve, and teach in these three aspects. And that is primarily what this show is about. Every morning, I push us as a group to think and learn about something that touches on these three aspects. So today, as you saw, I want to talk a little bit about the worst client ever situation. Definitely say hello in the chat if you're with me. One thing that I try to get better at every day in this live format is to be more lively. So definitely let me know over time if you notice that. I never used to be a morning person, but I believe that I can change the limiting beliefs about myself. So here, all of a sudden, I'm a morning person and I can be lively and talk to you, entertain you, teach you every morning. And that transition didn't need years and years. It just required one moment of making a decision that no longer would I refer to myself as someone who is not a morning person. Because I am the person I need to be to myself and to my business at whatever time of the day. Because that is what I choose. That is very important. Hello, Karen. Good to see you. So, Karen. Good to see you, Karen. So, the worst client ever, I am blessed to say that I never had one. I had one that was not optimal, but when I look at how I was able to avoid bad clients in the decade I've been working with clients, I think that everything was based on common sense principles. And we have lost our touch a little bit when it comes to business and common sense. Actually, maybe we've never had it, because what I notice often is that we have common sense. We're all human beings experiencing this life in a certain fashion. And when it comes to business, particularly when it comes to that first interaction that we have with our clients to be, we just turn very awkward. We forget to just talk about the things that make sense in life and that make sense in a relationship, because being in a professional client and service provider, or client and coach, or client and agency relationship is, after all, a relationship. And we forget that. We just become very awkward, most of us, because it's all about the money for a lot of us. Do I judge that? No, because I understand we need to bring food on the table. We want to build wealth. But what I need you to understand is that in business, it's not primarily about money making. It's about fostering relationships where value is created for everyone involved, typically the client getting the results and you getting the monetary compensation. And that is based on a relationship that has mutual understanding what the relationship is there for in the first place. So in order to avoid having a bad client, is very, very key that you set the correct expectations. And believe me, the correct expectations, if you know them in the first place, because a lot of people who are novices in business, they don't know exactly what it is that they sell or offer. They're very often in a situation where they're willing to do, I am to you whatever I need to be. And the problem is that your clients don't know what you need to be for them. That's why they come to you in the first place. They come to you because they need guidance, they need an authority, they need someone who knows to show the way. Type in "that makes sense" if that makes sense for you. So in order to know that, you need to be able to set expectations. And again, that only is possible if you understand why is someone coming to you, what problem are they looking to solve, and how are you going to solve that problem. Very often, I will tell you that situation consists of you having a process, a strategy, a way to achieving goals for your client, and sticking to that goal, following through, not getting distracted by 100 million ways of being distracted, not following rabbit holes all the time, not being impulsive in your decision making. So you need to be able to tell your client, let's say it is a client called John. John, I believe that you have chosen to come to me so that I can help you with this specific problem. It appears to me that you want to be more visible online. For example, that's very often people come to me for that. I know how to make that happen. We need to create a massive presence for you on a social platform that is a good fit for you. And we need to make sure you educate, you entertain, you provide value. And every now and then you offer something that people can buy into to get your help. So you provide value, entertain, you give 4 to 5 times, and then on the 6th time you ask. Now that requires discipline. It requires thinking about what the message is, sticking with the message, and then building a content strategy around that. And it requires being very clear on what is our metric, what is our lead metric. What is a lead metric? A lead metric is the number that you look at that happens before the goal that you really have happens. And sometimes we have 2 to 3 lead metrics. For example, a lot of people want their contact forms on their websites and landing pages to get more lead submissions. So you need to focus on getting good traffic to the website first, and then understanding, okay, if I have 1,000 people looking at my website, what is a good percentage in my industry that I can expect to work, and then go for that. But if you don't stay very disciplined in making sure that you drive that traffic to that landing page, then you will never see results, the client will never see results, and the client will be very unhappy with you. And very often the fault lies on your side because you were just the specialist hired. So it was your duty to keep everyone on track. But if you have never set that expectation at the beginning, that you're not going to be distracted, you're not going to let goals be changed, you're not going to let yourself be distracted in a million different directions. If you don't do that at the beginning, then I can guarantee you that your client relationship turns sour. It's just very normal. I am blessed with having built a very soon to be 7-figure business with a very small pool of clients who remain loyal and happy because that part was done right. So really it all boils down to knowing exactly why someone comes to you, how you can help them, and you being the authority in guiding everyone towards that goal. And having the backbone to say no when results don't appear fast enough, and to say we need to stay on track because I know for a fact that is how we will reach that goal. Can you do that? If yes, then you will have good client relationship, you will never have bad experiences, and you have longevity and loyalty in your business. Now, if you want to ask a question, you can do that now. I see that Karan might want to ask a question for himself. Please go ahead and put it in the chat. Go ahead and put it in the chat, Karan. Looking here at my phone to see the comments. While we wait for Karan's question, I'm going to touch upon this Grow on LinkedIn for Entrepreneurs challenge that is blended in. You might have wondered, what is that all about? Well, obviously we are on a professional platform on LinkedIn. Some of you, most of you will see that on LinkedIn, this live. And this is where, if you behave like an adult who is not there to play and do people into stuff, not to manipulate people into stuff they don't want to, then is a treasure trove of doing business. It's a great place to educate others, be educated, and to decide we're going to work together whenever the moment happens. This is about content creation that is not like the noise that everyone else does. LinkedIn is a platform that is hungry for content, very hungry, but very few people create good content. And with the emergence of AI and its power, which I definitely encourage you to leverage for yourself, a lot of people have started just flooding social platforms with white noise. I call it white noise. It's saying something without saying anything. You don't learn anything about the person. It's all very clean, whitewashed, polished marketing content that doesn't work. So how do we avoid that? Because it's hard to avoid it. Why? Because our brains, when we are on these platforms, they somehow turn into this fake mode. Not because we are fake, but because we have forgotten how to be authentic on platforms. And because we have forgotten how to make these platforms work for ourselves. And that precisely is what this Grow on LinkedIn challenge is about. It's about teaching you, in a free challenge, by the way, during 4 days, We need about 1 hour of your time every day. And then we teach you how to not be fake, how to create content that resonates with your top 20% potential clients by saying things in a way that actually builds relatability and trust. If you have never cracked that code, if you feel like you invest so much time into this platform and you don't get any results, then this is for you. You should also attend if you are not getting any traction with your content on other platforms that are primarily picture and video driven. I believe that the principles we teach are applicable to a lot of other situations in business. All right, let me see what kind of question we have here. So Karan says, I basically design carousel for people on LinkedIn. I know many people need it, and the thing is, whom I need to add in my network more, the people in my industry or all around copywriter, web designer, or any other creator, or just connect with graphic designers? That's a great question. You're basically asking, who is my audience for this service that I have? Karan creates carousels for other people. And carousels are very powerful, by the way. I know of several accounts who have really exploded because of carousels. Why are they so powerful? It's because they typically represent an asset. It's like a mini booklet jam-packed with information that people then can flip through on LinkedIn. If you upload them as a PDF, you can flip through it and then you can download it or share it. And when people share your carousel, that's how you get more exposure, of course. When people say, I have learned something about your service, that's how you get more comments. Well, that's how you get more interaction. Right now, the LinkedIn algorithm hugely favors interaction. If you have content that gets good interaction and a lot of shares, you will grow your influence. So Karan has a very good business model, but he first needs to understand, who is my audience? Whom do I need to sell that? Do I reach out to copywriters, graphic designers, or other type of clients? And the truth, the answer to your question, Karan, is that you need to look at who so far was easiest to work with, where it was a lucrative client relationship. In all your clients so far, who was easy to work with, you were able to create carousels for them that got them great results, and it was also a lucrative situation for you. Once you identify that problem, you can now start creating content where those people see themselves reflected. Now, when it comes to the who, and this is very important because we're talking about finding your niche, when it comes to who, most people focus on the person's activities, such as you do. Are they a dentist? Are they a graphic designer? Are they a coach? Are they a CPA, what have you? And don't get me wrong, if you have something nailed down like that, that is a good approach. That is a niche, because now you can say, hey, dear CPAs, do you know that I understand your business and I can create carousels for you that answer your clients' primary questions and that will very likely get reshares and engagement that will place you in a light as an expert. That is a good approach. But a niche does not always consist of a very specific activity only. A niche also can consist of commonalities in values and interests that you have or that your target audience have. Let me explain. Commonalities between my ideal target audience are people are typically spiritual. They believe in a higher power. People believe and care that what they do represents leaving a legacy, leaving something behind for the world that is of value. They're interested in wealth creation, and they're very eager to apply their expertise that they have built up over years to something that is a little bit mysterious to them right now, how it works, very often LinkedIn. They're interested in making an impact on the community. They're sports loving. They love the outdoors. And they're typically a little bit more conservative in how they think about politics. So if I understand all of that as a combination of elements, then I can create content that resonates with my audience. Because if I reduce my niche only to a profession, then I can only talk about very professionally oriented topics. And that is what a lot of people do wrong in content creation. They only ever talk about business. And they completely leave out the elements of personality that makes someone relatable. So I think you need to analyze whom have you worked with where the relationship was good, lucrative for you, good results for your client, and then start thinking about what can I create in terms of content that appeals to them, not only on a business level, but also on a personal level. How can I entertain them, bring value, and get them to trust me? Karen, I urge you to participate in the challenge, right? Let me blend it in again for you. Here. Go to yougrow.club, YOU-grow.club, and just participate. You can also just scan this QR code here, and then you can also register like that. All right, I think that was a great session today. And as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for being with me. I'm sending you love, prosperity, and happiness from San Antonio, Texas. Don't forget to register for our challenge here, Grow on LinkedIn for Entrepreneurs, for business owners. This is it for now. Shankar over and out from San Antonio, Texas. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central Time. Thank you for those of you who chose to be with me today.